Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and we're once again doing another character armor guide. This time it's going to be for Laszlo Farkas. This is a Hungarian noble. You can find it in Sigismund's camp, who you will come into contact with. Well, you could come into contact with him organically just walking through the camp, but he is part of the ransom quest. So we're going to be doing an armor guide for him today, and at the end I'll be showing you where to find him and how to get the armor if you would like to see that. But with all that being said, we're going to follow our usual structure and just dive on in, and we'll start off with the weapons, then go through the clothing, padding, and the armor, and then we'll do stats. So basically by the end of this video, you'll be fairly well informed about exactly what he's wearing and how good of a suit of armor it is. So let's just dive on in. So as usual with these guys, we're going to start off with weapons, and so the weapons that he is equipped with, you can see in front of you here, other than of course Radzikobyl's longsword, he is equipped with the broad longsword, a level 2 variant. This has a minimum strength of 11 to use, minimum agility of 14, stab damage of 121, slash damage of 115, blunt damage of 23, defense of 246, durability of 200, weight of 2.9 pounds, and a price of 885 groschen. It says a perfectly balanced longsword with a wide blade is the gold standard. What it lacks in speed, it makes up for in durability. So that's accurate. It is a fairly good weapon, definitely top tier weapons as far as overall in the game is concerned, because longswords are just kind of overpowered. Other than that, he also has a dagger on him and a torch. So both of those are utility devices, or whatever you want to call them. Torches obviously give you some light so you can see in dark places, and daggers help you stab people. So that's always very, very fun. But those are the weapons for Laszlo Farkas. Let's move on to the first layer, or the clothing layer. And that layer is made up of the pieces you see before you here. Again, excluding Godwin's Ring, which is a quest item, and that's the only reason I can't take it out of my inventory right now. So he is wearing the Akaton short, a level 2 variant, and you can see it is the red variant. It says a quilted coat sewn to the best fit, so it is great to wear and does not restrict movement. An excellent soft layer under other types of armor. This has a stab defense of 10, slash defense of 31, blunt defense of 27. So that's what that is. Then he has a chaperon with brooch, or chaperon with brooch as it's probably pronounced. Again, the level 2 variant, and again, the red colored variant. It says elegant and slightly eccentric headdress decorated with a decent brooch. It has a stab defense of 1, slash defense of 1, and blunt defense of 4. He then has the level 2 red padded chausses, which says simple quilted leggings, not exactly the pinnacle of tailoring skill, can be used alone or as a softening underlayer beneath better armor. This has a stab defense of 26, slash defense of 36, and blunt defense of 28. He then has the level 2 black variant of the riding boots. It says simple riding boots below the knees, tightly encircle the shins and ankles, and give the rider confidence in controlling the horse. Stab defense of 1, slash defense of 4, and blunt defense of 1. He is then also equipped with the rowel spurs, which is the lowest level of spurs in the game. This says riding spurs, also called rowels, help control the horse when riding fast or in the heat of battle. Their purpose is, of course, not to torment the animal. The individual spikes are therefore blunted. And he also has a solid gold ring, which has 55 charisma, so a pretty decent piece of jewelry that obviously helps the outfit stand out and brings our charisma up quite a bit. It says, such a precious ring is intended for noble lords and prelates. A beggar should be careful not to get the noose for selling it. So obviously, it's a valuable piece of jewelry, so that's all they're getting across there. So that is Laszlo's first layer, or the clothing. Taking a peek at it from the outside, you can see this is what the front looks like, so obviously very red themed. That's what it looks like from the side, and that is the rear view. So not the best looking outfit, but it definitely doesn't look horrible. It's a bit monochromatic for my taste. Normally I wouldn't be bothered by a monochromatic outfit, but when you're using higher, more fancy levels of clothing, a lot of times there will be brocade or something like that that breaks it up. This, however, is very, very samey, which makes it look kind of hard. But anyway, that's our clothing layer. For our second layer, or the padding layer, you may be wondering if anything changed, and yes, we added in a coif. So he is also equipped with the black level 2 variant of the coif. It says a simple linen headdress usually worn under a hat or cap. This has very little defensive stats, a stab defense of 0, slash of 0, and blunt defense of 1. So obviously not a lot there. Mostly it just is aesthetic because it really doesn't offer a whole lot more protection. But he is wearing it, so that's why it's included. But that's our entire second layer. He doesn't have a collar and he doesn't have a hauberk of any sort. So now let's add on the top layer and see what it looks like all together. And there you have the top layer for him. So Laszlo Farkas is not extremely heavily armored. That being said, it's not a horrible suit of armor. It's just missing so many pieces that it's a bit down. So you can see it's only 3 pieces to make up the top layer. We have the cuirass with folds. This is the level 2 variant, and it's the dark red variant of that. It says the metal cuirass with folded folds creates excellent protection for the torso and groin of the knight. The folds are also made from slats, so they can be easily moved and worn on a horse. This has a stab defense of 112, slash defense of 82, and blunt defense of 28. Then we have the red variant of the noble brigandine legs, once again the level 2 one. It says a full leg protection of a newer type, formed by a combination of lameral and plate armor. While the thighs are protected by folded slats, the warrior's shins are encircled by well-forged metal plates. This has a stab defense of 104, slash defense of 76, and blunt defense of 27. And finally, for the sleeves, we have the black variant of the Silesian brigandine sleeves, once again at level 2. So it says arm and forearm guards composed of leather parts with hardened lamellae, and plate couters and pauldrons. It has a stab defense of 107, slash defense of 78, and blunt defense of 28. So that is the entire suit. You can see it there before us. Taking a look at it from the outside, here we have the front view. So you can see it looks exactly like he does, or maybe if you're not familiar with him, you will see when I show you, because I will show you him now, well, after I get done going through the stats. But overall, I think it's pretty good looking and definitely super unique. It's just not the heaviest armor you could possibly build here. If we added a hauberk, some plate gauntlets, a nice heavy collar, a heavy coif, and then a actual helmet, this would obviously be a super good suit of plate armor, but as it is, it's okay. So that's our front view. This is the view from the side, slightly to the back, and here is our rear view. So overall, like I said, pretty good looking stuff. Stats on this suit of armor are also not horrible considering how many things we're missing, which I just listed off, but we have a total weight, including the weapons for this set, of 50.5 pounds. So pretty light, but again, that makes sense considering we're not wearing a hauberk and we're not wearing really any substantial head protection. The value for the suit of armor, as is, all level 2 stuff that was stolen from him, we have a total value, including the weapons, of 24,078.6 groschen. So definitely fairly expensive. A lot of that comes from a couple items, such as the cuirass with folds, which is expensive. That's funny, the price adjusted. So that price I just read you off was the stolen value price, the 24,078.6. That was the price of all of these things as they were stolen. Even though I waited for them to lose their stolen status before making this video, it was still that until I reloaded the save, and now they are reflected as their non-stolen value. So that's something that a lot of people have questioned in previous videos. They'll be like, why isn't my value the same as yours? That's oftentimes why, because until you've reloaded the game, they will still reflect that higher artificial stolen value. And the reason the game does that is because it makes the suit more conspicuous, and it makes it so that if you get caught having stolen the armor, the penalty is much, much higher. Because this suit, as it is not worth nearly that much. Let me quick add it up and I'll tell you what it is. Okay, and the non-stolen value for the suit of armor, including the weapons, is only 8,008.4 groschen. So you can see when I've mentioned that in previous videos that the stolen value is always way higher than the regular value. That's why. So the regular value is just over 8,000 groschen. So definitely not that expensive. So that's the value of the suit of armor. Our armor rating for this one, just going down on the different regions. For the head, we have an average of 39.7, which is pretty low, but that makes sense considering we're not wearing a helmet. For the body, we have an average of 169.7. For the arms, we have an average of 134.3. And for the legs, it's 176, giving us an overall average armor rating, or AAR, of 129.9. So definitely not the highest top tier armor you could possibly put together in any way, shape, and or form. But, it is what it is for a suit that I would probably call this a suit of half plate. Even though you're covering most of your major areas, you're really not covering the most important, which is your head, and the second most important, which is your hands. A lot of people misunderstand that, but remember, when you're fighting in melee, you can't do it without your hands, so they're extremely important to protect, and they're also one of the parts of your body that is oftentimes the most exposed. So if you're not wearing gauntlets and you're not wearing a helmet, why wear armor at all? That's always my opinion. But that is the suit itself. As far as where to find Laszlo Farkas, we are now in Sigismund's camp. You can see where we're located. So here's Sigismund's camp in the Kuttenberg region. If you go into the camp, you'll find him located at this corner right here by this colorful tent. So you can see where we are. There's a bunch of humans here, and he is currently sitting at this table over here. So that is what he looks like. So you can see we're wearing, obviously we're wearing the exact same armor and weapons and everything as him because I took them off of him. But that is where you'll find him. At night, he sleeps in this tent here, but keep in mind there's always someone standing guard, so it is hard to sneak up on him at night. The way that I ended up doing it was I snuck in here and killed all the humans in this area, and then killed him and took it. Well, not killed him, but knocked him out and took his stuff. So it's not as easy to get as some of the other sets in this game. But that is Laszlo Farkas, that's his armor, and that is where you can find him and his armor. So I hope you enjoyed this video, but we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.